Traffic Avenue, the show for me and you. Mondays to Fridays, ooh, the Traffic Avenue. Traffic Avenue, the show for me and you. Mondays to Fridays, ooh, the Traffic Avenue.
Oh, flex. Buckle up and join the best. Let's see, relieve your stress. So yes, let the music soothe your soul and keep it going just to refresh. Buckle and enjoy the ride from 2 to the half of the 5. Mondays to Fridays happening live. Where we gon' have a ball, you can text your guys. Let me tell you what you really gotta do. You can count on us, we come through. We got everything you need, that's true. Are you ready for the Traffic Avenue? Let me tell you what you really gotta do. You can count on us, we come through. We got everything you need, that's true. An applause for the Traffic Avenue.
Traffic Avenue, the show for me and you. Mondays to Fridays, ooh, the Traffic Avenue. Traffic Avenue, the show for me and you. Mondays to Fridays, ooh, Traffic Avenue, oh yeah. Traffic Avenue.
Oh, flex. Buckle up and join the best. Let's see, relieve your stress. So yes, let the music soothe your soul and keep it going just to refresh. Buckle and enjoy the ride from 2 to the half of the 5. Mondays to Fridays happening live. Where we gon' have a ball, you can text your guys. Let me tell you what you really gotta do. You can count on us, we come through. We got
Detailed news, unparalleled coverage. City News on 97.3 FM.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
City News.
It's 17:30 GMT. This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 City FM. I am Umaru Sanda Amadu. Tonight, I'm here with
Akusia Ochu.
And coming up over the next 90 minutes, after lots of threats and plans not to back down, Judicial Service Workers Union suspend the strike which has affected justice delivery in Ghana since Friday. Also coming up, government's gold for oil set to face a major setback as Bank of Ghana reportedly withdraws from the deal. And later on Eyewitness News,
but I have to reduce the number because I cannot save enough. I'm looking forward to fly to my base and go back to my cows and sheep, which are much easier to control than fellow Nigerians. But I have to reduce the number because I cannot save enough to buy them.
Immediate past president of Nigeria, Muhammad Buhari. But Nigeria has a new president. He's called Bola Tinubu. And his first major decision is to affirm the scrapping of subsidies on fuel. We'll be touching base with Lagos and Abuja for more on what it means to have a new government from the same political party in office in Nigeria. Stay with 97.3 City FM for more on this and many other stories on Eyewitness News. And in business,
IMF program is not a game changer for Ghana. This is according to the Institute of Economic Affairs.
That's in 15 minutes from the business desk of City FM and City TV. Eyewitness News is live across Ghana on a number of affiliate stations, also around the globe on citynewsroom.com. We are on YouTube. We are on Facebook. Do join us. Let's know what you make of the stories that we are bringing you. We are interactive on WhatsApp 0549 986 996 0549 986 996. You can send tweets using the hashtag City Newsroom, tweet at Umaru Sanda or at City973. In Nalirugu, we are on Nobia 98.1 FM. In Garu, we are on Quality 88.7 FM. In Saboba, we are on Radio Gaki 88.3. In Sugakofa, we are on Freedom 88.1 FM. In Hohwe, we are on Heritage 107.3 FM. In Nkawie, we are on Adrimpa 99.9 FM. In Sunyani, we are on Greener 95.9 FM. In Takrady, we are on Beach 105.5 FM and Sky Power 93.5 FM. In Takwa, we are on Adrinpa 100.7 FM. Eyewitness News is effectively airborne from number 11 Dr. Martin Loop in Adabraka in Accra. My name is Umaru Sandamadu here with Akosia Ochri. Our first story has to do with the Judicial Service Staff Association of Ghana. The group called a strike last Thursday and said until the president acts, it's not going to act. Tonight, the group has issued a statement announcing the suspension of its strike, a strike that had led to a total shutdown of Ghana's judicial system and judicial service. To speak more on this now, we are joined by Abdullah Yakubu. He's General Secretary of the Judicial Service Staff Association of Ghana. Mr. Yakubu, you're welcome to Eyewitness News.
Thank you, Umaru Sanda.
Last week when we spoke, you were so emphatic, you were so heartless, and you did not care about anything but your money. Tonight, you've already backed down. This is just less than 48 hours of official working period that you have called this strike. Why are you doing the U-turn so suddenly?
Umaru Sanda, thank you very much. Thanks to our President, Mr. Samola Otu, and the staff of the Judicial Service. We have not called off our strike. We still maintain our position. However, we have shifted a bit from the position to our interest. Our interest is in the money. And when the time comes and the circumstances require that we shift from our position towards the interest that we have, which is the money, it is only good that we shift away from the position to the interest.
So there's an assurance, a firm one that has been given you?
Okay, as indicated in the release by our president, we held a meeting with at the instance of the Ministry of Labor and Employment Relations. At their office, in attendance at the meeting was a rep from the office of the President, Attorney General, and Fair Wages and Salaries Commission. And the meeting was a step towards addressing our concerns. We noted that per the labor law, when you are on strike, nobody will engage you to negotiate with you unless the strike is called off. This was the position of government. So we needed to strike a balance between providing some kind of truce or an avenue for the negotiation to take place while still maintaining our strike. Upon deliberations with the government, we resolved that we will rather suspend the strike for 2 weeks to pave way for government to engage us officially for the negotiations to start. Within that 2 weeks period, we are expected to conclude the negotiations with government, get the necessary approvals, and process it with the Controller and Accountant General to assure us that payments are going to be done in the month of June.
Okay, go ahead.
We had this commitment from the government side, and we signed an MOU. It was signed for government by the Honorable Minister for Labor and Employment Relations and witnessed by the legal counsel from the office of the president, and then also signed by our president.
Okay, now the issue at hand as of the time you called the strike was that your salary had not been reviewed for more than 2 years, which offends the law, and you wanted that done, and you said it was only the President of the Republic who had the power to do so. Since you called that strike on Thursday, have you been told anywhere by anybody who has the power to do so that the president was going to act on this request of yours? Because you sounded so definite that I didn't know you would be open to a roundtable discussion on this matter, which would necessitate you going on a suspension of the strike.
If we don't open up for roundtable discussion, there was going to be no way that the issues were going to be resolved. And when we started, we had some assurances that the government side was ready to engage us to negotiate. except that we could not be engaged when we are striking. We also did not have any official letter informing us to that effect. So this morning we received that official invitation from the Minister for Labor, asking that we should come to engage with government so that they can consider the president giving us approval. In fact, when we look at the composition of the meeting, and it satisfies the constitutional requirements for the approval, because we have somebody from the office of the president who had the mandate of the president to represent him at the meeting. And for us, that was very, very assuring.
So what was the next stage in this negotiation? When is your next meeting? What are the key things you're taking to the table? Do you have entrenched positions, or you're willing to meet the government halfway?
I don't know what you will call halfway, but we'll meet the government with our management on Wednesday. That will be on 31st May, so that the proposal that was submitted by the council to the president will be brought. If the president has a say about what was submitted to them, they will let us know. If there is any justification that they will want us to provide, we are ready with all our documents to provide the justification that we deserve what we propose and what was submitted by the council to the president.
Your staff members, whom you asked to vacate the court premises on Thursday, what's your message to them now if they are listening?
Okay, in fact, we thank them so much for the patience and the support that we have received from them across the country. This strike is one of the effective ones that we have declared, and it has become possible because of the support we receive from our staff. Now that we have seen a headway towards getting us the money paid with the arrest in the month of June 2023, we are informing our members that the strike has been suspended but not called off. If after 12, we give the deadline after 12 June, if after 12 June the government is unable to complete with us and we realize it was due to undue delays, then we shall reactivate the strike. So the information we're giving to our members tonight is that they should report to work and let the work go on as normal as possible whilst we engage government to get the necessary approval for payments of members in the month of June.
So litigants can now go back to the courts, and you are really ready to open the doors for them for service.
We shall be open to all litigants and they'll receive and serve them tomorrow, God willing.
What about people who lost money and their rights trampled upon on Friday and Monday because you lot decided not to come to work, and now you're calling or suspending? Should they not bring an action against you?
Definitely not. There should be an action against the government. What we embark on is a legal strike. If it were an illegal strike, perhaps somebody would have been trying to take us on. But what we did, we made sure we satisfied all the legal provisions. The advice I'll have for those who had cases from last Thursday, Friday, and Monday is that they can still come on Tuesday, and the court will give them the next agenda, the next available agenda for their cases to be heard.
Thank you for speaking to us.
Thank you, Omar.
That's Abdullahi Yakubu. He's General Secretary of the Judicial Service Staff Association of Ghana. This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 CTFM. We are coming to you from our studios in Adabraka in Accra. We have some labor-related issues, don't we, Akosia?
Yes, we do. The Pensioner Bondholders Forum has postponed its planned picketing at the Finance Ministry to 1st and 2nd of June 2023. After a week of protest, the pensioners suspended the picketing following a meeting with the Finance Ministry where government pledged to pay all outstanding coupons with a promise to engage on a pathway for the payment of principals. However, following government's failure to pay all the coupons and convene a meeting, the pensioners hinted of another round of picketing. City News' checks reveal that the planned picketing has now been rescheduled to Thursday. Now, Member of Parliament for North Tongue, Okujetu Ablakwa, has described as insensitive and unacceptable government's decision to maintain the COVID-19 health levy. The president, in his 29th COVID-19 update, said the levy will continue to be in place despite calls for its removal. The business community and other stakeholders have in times called for the scrapping of the 1% levy, citing dire financial consequences on their businesses. However, in an interview with City News, the North Tongue legislator, Okujetu Ablakwa, says the bill must be scrapped.
It's marks of bad faith and insincerity for President Akufo-Addo to lift all restrictions and indicate that we are back to the pre-COVID era. And yet, what has been a defining feature for the COVID era, which is the COVID-19 levy, the president did not announce that that tax handle will be abolished. That is the height of insensitivity. It is totally unacceptable. You do not tell us that you are introducing the COVID-19 levy to help manage COVID. Now COVID is over and you are maintaining it. You have also introduced the e-levy, saying that you need the e-levy to help us stay away from the IMF. Now we are in the IMF program. We've gone for a bailout which has been approved, and yet you say nothing about the e-levy tax handle. So we are seeing a president and a government that doesn't keep its word, it's not sincere, cannot be trusted, and even more worrying, does not appear to be conscious about the plight of Ghanaians, the business community, and the entire country, which is currently languishing under the pain and the anguish that their bad policies and abysmal economic management has brought upon the people. We have always said, time without number, that it is not just an issue to do with revenue mobilization. Government must also look at the expenditure side of things. So you must look at both ways. You can't always just be raising revenue, and yet government refuses to tighten its belt. Government refuses to be prudent, to be frugal.
Well, the North-Tom Member of Parliament has also been reacting to the president's assertion that his government never benefited from the COVID-19 pandemic. Well, he says the president's words cannot be trusted.
If you read the IMF country report on Ghana, the IMF insists that they ask for the COVID-19 audit as a prior action, or if you like, as a conditionality. Just read page 22 of the country report. Now the president is claiming that the audit was done at his instigation. So who do we believe? Both cannot be speaking the truth. And if you look at the president's track record, I am inclined to believe the IMF, because in Parliament, we were calling for an audit many, many months ago. The president and his government refused. Indeed, we wrote even to the Auditor General. We didn't get any response. More than a year before the IMF made this, I am inclined to believe the IMF. If the IMF had not made this COVID-19 audit a conditionality, it would not have been done.
So that was North-Tom Member of Parliament, Okujeto Ablakwa. Meanwhile, the business community is unhappy about government's move. Executive Director for the Importers and Exporters Association of Ghana, Samson Asaki Awingobet, says more businesses continue to reel under the impact of the levy.
Well, I still believe that should not be the way to go. If President is proposing that the COVID has come to stay, the levies have come to stay, and as a result of government made some expenses or whatever, and think that it's not right for government to take it up. I completely disagree with the president for this for once. Not just only COVID levies that we are requesting that it should go up the books, but we are also asking that government should also abolish the special import levy and then the financial recovery levy. These are levies, including the COVID levy. These are levies that we strongly believe that they came with sunset clauses. And if it's a sunset clauses, they came with sunset clauses. That means for a specific period, they have to go off the books. We cannot compromise, or we cannot agree to the extent that it should become a norm, or it should become part of government revenue for the year. I strongly believe that if anything has to be done, I think government should also think about the plight of the ordinary Ghanaians suffering at this point in time, and should not impose this COVID levy to be part of government revenue for accounting for purpose. I don't think so.
Executive Director for the Importers and Exporters Association of Ghana, Samson Asaki Awingobet.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
For Pepsodent, Smiles are one of the most important things we have. The problem is, globally, 1 in 2 children suffer from cavities. Pepsodent, with maximum cavity protection, helps to prevent the formation of cavities. Pepsodent, because every smile matters. This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
You know your papa see that? And it's rickety car. Hey, Papa! Papa!
Bobo, so how's your engine now?
It is half man, half amazing. Thanks to Quartz and you. Can feel better energy. Can't touch this. Actually, guys, so Sancho's engine just died like that.
Yes, so
somebody managed to convince him that there is a better engine oil than Quartz, and he switched.
Sancho Panza.
Now, which engine oil can be better than Quartz? No other, my guy. Quartz with its age-resistant technology, it keeps your engine younger for longer. Now you know. Have you guys seen the new bottle design? It's superb. Quartz 9000 from Total Energies there improves fuel efficiency. Why do you think Mr. Mane and Logoso have taken the Quartz Nation Movement World Cup like that? Sorry. Chairman. Quartz. Keep your engine younger for longer.
Let your voice be heard on Eyewitness News on Facebook at facebook.com/City97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/City973, and Instagram at instagram.com/City973 with the hashtag Eyewitness News.
You're welcome back. This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 City FM. We are broadcasting from Adabraka in Accra. My name is Umaru Sandamad here with Akosia Ocho. Remember government's gold for oil deal? It was hailed as a big solution to not only fuel prices and so on, but also the fact that it was going to help arrest the dollar for the cedi. Tonight we are hearing that that's the whole deal, which was anchored on the Bank of Ghana and driven by the Bulk Oil Storage and Transport Company boss, may well collapse because BOG, which is the foundation on which the whole deal rests, has decided to pull out. The man making the claim is a former member of parliament for Nsuta Kwamambe Poso. His name is Asafo Eje. Honorable, you're welcome to Eyewitness News.
Most grateful, sir. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How much do you know about the gold for oil deal?
Let me put it this way. When somewhere it begins, we are in May. Yeah. I saw it in a platform. For my MP's platform, that His Excellency, the President, Vice President, was going to launch. He had a policy introducing gold for oil deal. So when I saw it, I said to myself, gold for oil, is there documentation, a guardian principle for all Ghanaians to take a look at that document? Has this policy document passed through Parliament? Because in my view, it's international transaction. So there's a need for the document to go through Parliament. Well, I don't know if it was done through administrative purposes. But my feeling is this: one, the way it was going to move from money collected from Bank of Ghana, the money will be given to Precious Minerals Company. Then they will buy the gold from other recognized institutions or this small-scale sellers involved, brokers involved in the gold. I didn't have much idea, but what really struck me is, one, if they're going to take the money from Bank of Ghana, it means it is going to create inflation will be stronger. In other words, it will accelerate the pace of inflation. 2, in my view, I didn't think the policy or the program was sustainable. Because look at the reason for the introduction of gold for oil. 1, to stabilize the city. 2, also to bring down the prices of fuel, that is petroleum products, i.e., diesel and petrol. So that's my issue. That first, it was not sustainable. First, it will create inflation or increase in inflation. And third, the way it's being operated was not transparent enough. Because here you are, they said they had an agent in Dubai. Who is that agent? You and I, as we sit here, through international transaction, they cannot go direct to the oil company. Of course, they have to pass through somebody, the agent. So there was a need for Ghanaians to know that agent.
So this is you just interrogating the issues, but we've long gone past that. The program was launched, or the policy was launched. We've already seen a number of liftings coming through. The BOST has received so much in terms of volume, has distributed same to GOIL and other BDCs, we are told, and even OMCs. So you're just trying to talk about the challenges you anticipated with the program, but the government has since long gone past this. You are a member of the New Patriotic Party. Did you at any point try to raise this with the Energy Ministry?
No, I raised it on many platforms, including MP's platform. And some of the radio stations where I went, particularly Silver FM, I also raised that issue that this program or policy is not sustainable. This policy will create inflation. It will add more to our inflation. So these are the issues I raised. And
but you see,
people were insulting me left and right.
Okay,
so I said, okay.
No problem. But on the specific issue that you claim that the BOG has withdrawn from the deal, where is that information from?
Oh, it is. Oh, you Google, you see it. It came. I saw it one of those documents that BOG is the process for withdrawing from the gold for oil, and I also read it because I'm in the car. I cannot give you the references. I also read it that it's going to cost us $100 million, in April, because people were smuggled the gold. Instead of passing through a legal channel, they were smuggling it outside the country. And BOG was also going to withdraw. So I wanted to know why BOG was withdrawing. That's my beef. Why are they withdrawing? Because they were part of the deal. But
Honorable, what I mean is that, have you seen any evidence, any communication, or anybody at BOG has said to you that BOG is withdrawing from the deal?
No, there's a document.
What document is it?
It's in one of the there's a publication on it. I cannot
titled what?
Offhand.
Titled what?
No, I can Google. I can get you that information later. That BOG is withdrawing from the deal.
No, it's actually the basis for our interview tonight. So if you don't have that information, that would be surprising. Is it a website story you saw, a tabloid, a speculation, a comment, a press release? What did you see? What document was that?
It's a website story I saw.
What website?
Ghana Web, I believe. I'm not sure. Let me get...
Attributed to who?
One, Juliana. No, often I cannot give you that information. Because when you asked me that you're going to interview me, you didn't give me the details. I'll have prepared myself adequately to
No, you were told by the production team.
I was driving. I was driving.
You spoke to Kwame Nkrumah Tikesi of OK FM, I believe, on Friday or so. And you said to him emphatically that BOJ
Yeah,
was
yeah,
withdrawing, didn't you?
yeah, yeah.
What was the basis for that claim you made on that show?
Let me.
And I can quote for you what was published in your name. It says that you quote, I've heard BOG is withdrawing from the gold for oil deal, and if that is true, then President should sack the governor of the Bank of Ghana. I hear the
Yeah,
policy
I
has
said
brought
that.
a debt of $100 million, and that's why the central bank is withdrawing. Are you saying that you said all of this based on speculation and you had no evidence at all? You were just saying it.
Let me tell you, I rely on what I saw.
Which you saw,
Allegedly,
what you
that
saw on
yes.
Ghana Web, and you cannot really attribute it
No,
to
no, no,
anybody.
no. Just listen, please. Let's take one after the other.
No problem.
Allegedly, what I read in that publication, I said I can find you the documents. I can find you the publication. I'll forward it to your office.
But you see, everybody can publish anything. I just wanted to know how credible this publication that you saw was. You've said you read it on Ghana Web, and then so what? Was it?
No. Yes, listen.
How
listen.
authentic was it?
I saw it. No. The people publish information. They provide information. So it's left to the individual to cross check. And I said.
So did you cross check after seeing it?
Yes, I did. That's why I'm telling you that I will give you the information where I got those information from.
Yes. So when you cross check,
as I'm driving, I don't have it off on my head.
Okay. Do you have it on authority that the Bank of Ghana was withdrawing from the good for oil policy?
As I'm driving, I'm relying on what I saw in that publication.
Before you entered your car to drive, did you have it on authority that the Bank of Ghana was going to or has withdrawn from the...
No, listen. I am relying on the document I saw, and I'll forward that document to you.
Which document you cannot even quote? You cannot even tell us what the title is, who the author is.
I'll give you the author, everything.
Can you give it to me now?
No. In about 5 minutes, I can give it to you.
Okay. Please hold on in 5 minutes. I'm going to speak to someone from the Energy Ministry to corroborate what you have said or otherwise. So I'm going to give you 5 minutes. I'm going to engage that person for 5 minutes. Kindly dig through your files and share that information with me. Please stay on the line. Okay. Thank you. Let me go to the other phone line and speak to MP for Second D, Deputy Minister for Energy, Honorable Andrea Japa Mensah. Honorable, you're welcome to Eyewitness News.
Thank you very much, my brother.
I was just speaking there to your former colleague in Parliament, Asafo J, who is incidentally a member of your party, former MP from Sutakwama Beposo. He has said elsewhere that the gold, in fact, he spoke on OKFM and said that the gold for oil policy had faced a major setback because the Bank of Ghana had withdrawn or was going to withdraw because of a $100 million debt. It is the reason the production team called you ahead of the discussion. I have just engaged him briefly. He's asked for me to give him some 5 minutes to produce some more information.
Yes, I'll follow you.
Good. As a government, is this true what he has said?
Let me first and foremost.
Hello, Honorable. Hello.
Yes, I'm here.
Yes, I didn't hear you. I lost you briefly.
But my former senior colleague is intervening, so I don't know what to say.
Oh no, I'm listening to you. Hold on to he's still offline. So you speak to Ghanaians.
I can hear him on my line.
Okay, you are the only one hearing him. Honorable Asafo, kindly hold on. You are not on the air. There's Honorable Andrea Japa Mensah who is on the air. So kindly let's give him audience. Thank you. So Honorable Japa Mensah, please continue.
Let me say good evening to your cherished listeners and to my very senior former colleague. I met Honorable Asafo during the 7th Parliament, and it was indeed a pleasure working with him. But it's surprising to me that following the interrogation that you were putting across to him, he's unable to provide any official documentation, communication from the Bank of Ghana to the effect that they are withdrawing from the gold for oil policy.
Honorable Mensah? Hello? Honorable Mensah, can you hear?
I'm surprised how you quote the finder.
Honorable Mesa, you are the only one being heard by Ghanaians. And
no,
please,
but I can hear you.
Okay, please give me a second. Please give me. Honorable Safweje. Honorable Safweje, you are not on air. Could you kindly indulge us? I asked your permission to give me 5 minutes. You granted that. Can we hear
the reference?
No,
The finder.
No,
You were asking me.
Honorable Safweje.
Yeah.
I begged you for 5 minutes, which you granted. Kindly indulge me and stay on the line for that 5 minutes. Let me hear from Ejapa Mesa.
Okay.
I'll come back to you. So do not interject, please. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Honorable Ejapa Mesa, please continue.
Hello.
Yes, Honorable Mesa, you on the air. Please continue.
Yes, it's surprising that his references are to Ghana Web, and now he's saying the finder. Because I'm not so sure whether the finder is the official mouthpiece of the Bank of Ghana. Neither am I so sure whether Ghana Web is the official mouthpiece of the Bank of Ghana. Indeed, and in fact, Bank of Ghana communicates to the public through statements that are signed from their Public Affairs Directory. And so, surprising that if he was coming from my very good friend and brother, John Jinapo, then I would assume that he's the usual MPP NDC banter.
Why are you introducing your former colleague, your colleague who is not even here? What's that?
No. I said surprising because this is coming from somebody who is a member of my party. And so I'm inclined to assume that it's probably because of the internal elections that is coming that they are seeking to bastardize the personality of His Excellency the Vice President, who has championed this policy, hence this story. Because I am completely scandalized. For the information of the general public, no such statement has been issued by the Bank of Ghana. No such conversation has ever taken place. Bank of Ghana has not, and I admit I don't work with the Bank of Ghana, but I can say it on authority that the gold for oil policy has not racked up any $100 million loss for which the Bank of Ghana would renege on its core mandate of providing support for import cover, forex support, which could be by way of gold or US dollar or any other international trading mechanism for supporting the import program of Ghana, including for the private sector. And so to hear this, it's unbelievable. And Umaru, I spoke to you earlier, right?
Yes, you did.
On the 23rd of May, there was an EMT meeting that reviewed the Gold for Oil program. The governor of the Bank of Ghana was present. His deputy, the first deputy governor of the Bank of Ghana, was present. His Excellency the Vice President, as usual, presided. My minister, it was his birthday. Ordinarily, he wouldn't have been there. But he attended that meeting. And no such issue came up. And so I will urge, with all due respect, that this statement that is coming should be treated with the utmost contempt that it deserves. And people should disregard it as being a palpable falsehood. I believe that that sufficiently answers the question. Unless
that answers the question, except that there's a question that has been...
My very respected senior colleague is able to provide us with official documentation from the Bank of Ghana to back his allegation. I think that it should be treated with the utmost contempt that it deserves.
Okay. There's a colleague of yours from Parliament, whose name I'm not going to mention, who has said that they engaged the Bank of Ghana unofficially, and the Bank of Ghana has pulled out of the Gold for Oil program.
How are they going to pull out?
And that they are not going to provide any more funding for the program. Can you say to us on authority that the BOG is still an integral part of the Gold for Oil and there's no plan to pull out and there's no pulling out?
Wait. What is the Gold for Oil policy? Because you need to go to the root before you can then arrive at a conclusion whether anybody can pull out in the first place or not. Government of Ghana through the Bank of Ghana, support import programs for all sorts of sectors: agric, mining, regular importation, and of course, oil importation. The government of Ghana realized that because there was some shortage of forex, the BDCs were forward pricing their exchange rate. That obviously impacted the price of petroleum products at the pump. So to ensure that we have sufficient enough forex to meet our petroleum pricing, petroleum importation, government took a decision that expand the gold purchase program that Bank of Ghana has started running in 2021 by buying all the gold from small-scale miners locally, pay them with Ghana cedi, and buy a portion of what the big mining companies also export, for which they are entitled to by law. And then use that gold that you've purchased to fund our petroleum importation. The alternative would be for Bank of Ghana to source dollars from remittances to pay for our import bill. How is the Bank of Ghana going to pull out from providing forex to fund the import bill of Ghana? How is it going to do it? And so if anybody comes to put out in this statement, these basic interrogative questions ought to be put to the person. How is the Bank of Ghana going to do it? Are they going to stop supporting forex for importation into the country? How does that work? So, like I said,
but you see. No. So that's a general work that the BOG has been doing. Just a second. But yes, we do know specifically that this whole gold for oil program is rested on the BOG supplying funds to PMMC to procure gold, which gold will be taken abroad to wherever and exchanged with oil, which is brought down south for BOST to collect and sell to BDCs. That is simply what has been happening.
And then the sale of the proceeds from BOST goes where?
Goes back to the BOG.
Thank you very much.
Good. But if BOG now is alleged to be pulling out, and we are told it's because of $100 million debt that is hanging over the deal. I just want to be specific with you. So BOG is in this game and not moving out. Simple and short.
How is the Bank of Ghana going to cease supporting the import program of any entity in Ghana, including banks?
If it notices a debt issue, it will not continue.
There's no debt issue. Dismiss it completely. But I'm saying that regardless, assuming without admitting that there was even some debt, which is a figment of somebody's imagination, I'm saying that both ordinarily or any other BDC ordinarily will source dollars from either the Bank of Ghana through the forex auctions that they do, or from their bank, or from the market, forex bureaus, and to a large extent, black market, right? So if you say that the Bank of Ghana is withdrawing, what does it mean?
All right, that's fine. We can leave it here. Thank you for speaking to us. You want to hear what the response your colleague is going to give? Okay, let me go to him so we can just hear from him. It's more than 5 minutes now. Have you pulled up any document that you can use to corroborate this claim of yours?
The Deputy Minister. Now, you asked of my references, and I'm saying the finder. Now, let me read to you. BOG to exit. BOG to exit gold for oil policy. That is where I'm relying on.
Attributed to who?
Unfortunately, I don't have my glasses. You see, I don't have my glasses. But I'll give you the finder. Finder.
No, honorable. If you say the finder, the finder newspaper as edited by Elvis DACU does not create stories; it reports stories.
No,
Stories that are
no. I'm reporting.
no problem.
I'm reporting
Are
from,
you good? Is the finder
reporting from.
saying that they have interviewed the BOG or someone has told them the BOG has said this? I mean, there should be a
listen.
source for the story. Where's the source of the story?
I'm giving you Founder as my source.
Can you read? Can you read the first two paragraphs, please?
No. I don't have my glass. This is written in block letters. That's why I'm able to tell you. The remaining I can. But let's get to the substance of the issue.
The substance of the issue is proof from you that the BOG is indeed withdrawing, and I'm not getting that proof from you, which is really the substance.
I'm quoting it from the finder.
Yes, but the finder is not Bank of Ghana. Respectfully, Honorable.
I rely on the finder.
You can't rely on the finder for a national issue like that.
If the finder is lying, then I'm lying.
You have been a member of parliament before, Honorable.
No, if the finder is not reliable, then I'm not reliable.
It is not about the credibility of the finder, Honorable. You have been in parliament before. Are you saying that? And because parliament is built on truth, you cannot just peddle any information there. You're saying that you can just rise on your feet and say to the speaker that there's going to be a coup d'etat in Ghana, for instance, and quote a newspaper.
No, please. I'm not in parliament.
You were in parliament. You have the title honorable preceding your name.
Yes. I was in parliament. But as I'm relying the facts I've got from.
So your only fact now is the only fact that you are relying on is the finder's publication, which publication you cannot even attribute to anybody. Right?
I can, because I don't have my glasses. I mean, if I don't have my glasses, what do I do?
Do you have your driver with you? Can he read it for you, please?
No, I was driving myself.
So you're alone?
Yeah, I'm alone.
Okay. There's a comment. No problem. There's a comment that has been made by your colleague now, who is in Parliament, the Deputy Minister. He says what you are saying may be coming from the fact, or may be motivated by the internal NPP presidential primaries. Are you a member of any of the presidential hopefuls or flag bearer hopefuls?
I'm relying. I spoke as a Ghanaian.
No problem. But are you a member of any of the campaign teams?
Listen. I spoke as a Ghanaian. Let me finish.
No problem. Just answer this question, please. Are you a member of any of the?
Just listen. I'll come to that. I'll answer you.
Go ahead.
I first spoke as a Ghanaian. I said it because of two observations that I've made. The purpose of this, like he himself said, it to stabilize the city, okay? Two, to reduce the prices of fuel. So my question is, going through the pumps, since the introduction of the gold for oil policy, are the prices of fuel reduced? I'm hearing Thursday, the prices of fuel.
Honorable, that is actually not the issue in discussion now. The issue is about whether the bill. I've already told you in the beginning that the debate over whether. Honorable, respectfully, the debate over whether. No problem. This is you going to do an analysis of the success or otherwise of the gold for oil.
Read what the interview I had.
Honorable, can you hear me, please? Can you hear me, Honorable Safoje? Are you a member of any of the campaign teams?
No, you don't let me talk.
You have already spoken enough. I just wanted.
I'm telling you.
There's one issue that has been thrown at you. I just wanted you to have the right of rebuttal,
no comment. No comment.
So you're not. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
Thank you. Let's leave it here. That's Honorable Safoje, former NPP member of Parliament from Suta, Kwamambe Post. Honorable Andrew Ejapa Mesa, that is your colleague. Any comment before you leave us?
It's unbelievable, and I have enormous respect for Honorable Asafaji, and I'm completely surprised that he would subject himself to such, I don't want to say public ridicule, but in all honesty, I think that your discerning listeners would clearly see that there was absolutely no basis in the kind of commentary that was coming from Honorable Asafaji. With respect to Bank of Ghana's pulling out this gold for oil policy, which really, 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 really is to ensure that there's ample enough revenue source that supports our import program for petroleum products, such that we can have a control on the spiraling if you like, prices of petroleum at the pumps. And we all are witnesses to the stability that we see at the pumps today, thanks to the implementation of this policy.
Very well.
I'm really saddened.
Let's leave it here. Thank you so much for speaking to us. That's Honorable Andre Japamesa. He is Deputy Minister for Energy and MP for Sekendi. This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 CTFM. We are broadcasting from Adabraka in Accra. We'll be back with more. Please stay with us.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
Insightful, intriguing, intelligent, and informative. The City Breakfast Show offers an attractive alternative to the noisy mishmash of morning radio. Tune in to the City Breakfast Show for passionate discussions on issues that matter and enjoy interviews where duty bearers and decision makers have their feet held to the fire. The City Breakfast Show airs from 6:30 a.m. to 10 a.m. every Monday to Friday on 97.3 City FM.
Using a condom will protect you and your partner from HIV, STIs, and unplanned pregnancy. Condoms are an effective way for protection against HIV infection. Don't take risks. Use a condom every time. Always come prepared.
This advert is brought to you by the Ghana AIDS Commission and Ghana Health Service.
If home is where the heart is, then let's go home, shall we? Let's go where the entertainment is, where the passion is, where the laughter is, and sometimes even the tears too. Let's go where we feel safe enough to share our opinions.
And send tweets.
Where we do that embarrassing little dance to our favorite song. Let's go home where the love, the care, and the joy live.
There's no place like home. Connect your home to super fast internet with affordable data bundles from MTN Home. Visit broadband.mtn.com.gh or your My MTN app to sign up today. MTN.
Let your voice be heard on Eyewitness News on Facebook at facebook.com/City97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/City973, and Instagram at instagram.com/City973 with the hashtag Eyewitness News.
You're welcome back. This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 CTFM. Let's talk about Ghana's ambulance service now. There's a video that is trending, which video was shot by, I think, 2 Ghanaians somewhere in Dubai, who have said that they have seen one of Ghana's ambulances being put up for sale over there. The ambulance service has swiftly issued a statement. Akosia has a full story for us.
Yes, and it's titled "For Immediate Release, False Claim of Toyota Hayes Ambulance Belonging to the Government of Ghana on Sale in Dubai, 29th May 2023. And the content, it says, it has come to the attention of the National Ambulance Service, a viral video circulating on social media of an ambulance in Dubai belonging to the government of Ghana, which is purported to be sold in that country. We wish to state that, 1, the ambulance in question is one of the 26 Toyota Hayes ambulances being procured by the government through the Ministry of Health and being funded by the World Bank. 2, the said ambulance is found on the premises of the company which is manufacturing the ambulances. 3, it is therefore not true that the ambulance is there for sale. 4, the manufacturing processes are over and very soon the ambulances will be shipped into Ghana. 5, we therefore entreat the general public to disregard the video in circulation and commentary made by the person who made the video. Thank you. So, Sandra, that's it.
Yes, and thank you so much. If you want more, go to citynewsroom.com. We have a full story there. This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 City FM. Up next, we have the latest in the world of business, and then we go in for Point Blank. Point Blank tonight is focusing on our neighbor to the east, Africa's most populous country, which now has a new president, Bola Tinubu. I'm referring to Nigeria. Please stay with us.
Let your voice be heard on Eyewitness News on Facebook at facebook.com/City97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/City973, and Instagram at instagram.com/City973 with the hashtag Eyewitness News.
Get the details. Every significant financial transaction, every market movement, and all the policies that affect your business. City Business News. Be informed.
Time now for City Business News on Eyewitness News, powered by citybusinessnews.com. My name is Nettie Ajawo. Let's settle for the details. The Institute of Economic Affairs, IE, has indicated that the extended credit facility offered Ghana by the IMF has tied the hands of the managers of the nation's economy, as the program can only offer a temporary solution to the nation. Ghana received the first tranche of the IMF cash support on Friday, May 19, 2023. Speaking at a press conference in Accra, the Director of Research at the IE, Dr. John Kwachi, noted that the targets and goals are not sufficiently ambitious, as the program does not seek to harness the country's full potential.
The program, as expected, is geared to achieving targets and fulfilling goals that the IMF has determined to be appropriate for dealing with our crisis. However, these targets and goals are not sufficiently ambitious, as we have pointed out, because the program does not seek to harness the country's full potential. Like previous programs, this one cannot be the game changer for Ghana. It cannot be the panacea for the country's recurrent economic crisis. Ghana requires quantum jumps in its development and not the small incremental changes embodied in the IMF program. You see, the IMF program, the way it's like they are asking us to walk, to crawl, no, maybe not, to crawl to where we want to go to. And I'm saying that we don't have to do that, because we have the resources, we have the potential, we have capacities here that we can harness. We need to move faster. We are far behind our peers. And what I'm talking about is not rocket science. It is pure economics.
That was the Director of Research at the Institute of Economic Affairs, Dr. John Kwachi. A tax analyst, Francis Timor is questioning the rationale behind government's decision to maintain the COVID-19 health recovery levy despite the resistance from many stakeholders. During his address to Ghanaians last night, President Akufo-Addo said though the 1% fee on the value of taxable supplies was unpopular, the government will continue to charge the levy to bridge the fiscal gaps generated by the pandemic while addressing other expenditure challenges. Francis Timor has been speaking on the issue.
We're not too sure how much gap the COVID has created, because some other experts are saying that, look, we even got more money than what this COVID made us incur. So it's not too clear the justification for maintaining this has been. I would have rather looked at the justification on the basis that the totality of government gap created by the issues that we are having in the country. Tax revenue is not enough. Expenditure has been overbloated. So clearly, if this COVID is gone and we were supposed to have collected this money to pay for the expenses that COVID has created, then clearly we should take it off. But like I've mentioned, it is a huge revenue line for government. And so for that matter, if you consider the fact that the CSE and E-levy, which is even more controversial, has been maintained, then clearly this tax which was received because Ghanaians thought that COVID had impacted their lives, you wouldn't want to take this thing off, because this was more popular than the other tax types like E-levy. Yes. So in my view, because of the revenue generation capacity of this particular tax type, it may not go up.
Francis Timor is a tax analyst. Meanwhile, some individuals and operators of small and medium enterprises in Accra are also lamenting the negative impacts the continuous payment of the COVID-19 levy is having on their businesses. Sharing their thoughts on government's stance of maintaining the levy, some said it's not only unfair but also an exploitation of already struggling business communities by the Akufo-Addo-led government and therefore needs to be scrapped.
The pandemic brought about the 1%. That is the COVID. Now, if the COVID is no more, then there is no need for the 1%. It's simple as that. It shouldn't be maintained. It should be scraped off because Ghanaians are already overburdened with a lot of taxes. You go to the market, you buy something, you have to pay 1% COVID levy. Now, if that 1% is taken off, at least it will, the burden of Ghanaians paying too much tax will come down a little bit.
If there is no COVID, then there's no need for COVID-19 levy. We want the levy scrapped. But as always, because the government wants to keep taking it, they will come up with a need to justify their action.
Let me say my other colleagues in works will go to hospital. They may be sleeping on hospital bed. It's all about government. So I don't have any problem. If they are taking that percentage, I don't have any problem with that.
There is so much tax in the system already. So if the COVID-19 pandemic is not a threat to our life, I think boycotting it will help.
Those were some individuals and managers of SME sharing their opinions on government's maintenance of the COVID-19 health recovery levy. The Chief Executive Officer of the Tunisian Export Promotion Center, CEPEX, Mourad Ben Hassin, is advocating increased trade relations between Ghana and Tunisia to improve the trade volumes between the two countries. This comes as Tunisia's membership of the Common Market for Eastern and Southern Africa and the more recent entry into force of the African Continental Free Trade Area will boost continental trade and advance trade between Tunisia and the rest of the continent. The CEO of CEPEX, Mourad Hassin, made the comments when he addressed the media on the sidelines of a networking event aimed at introducing Tunisian companies and institutions to potential business partners in the country.
We had the delegation of 16 Tunisian companies in many sectors, ITC, services, agribusiness, handicrafts, and this meeting was aimed to build contact between and networking between Tunisian companies and Ghanaian companies. This kind of event will certainly help and support all the Tunisians who need to have business with their counterpart here in Ghana to boost the intra-African trade and also to support the guided initiative for trade. As you may know, Tunisia and Ghana are among the 8 African countries within the such initiative. So we are here to boost cooperation between Tunisian and Ghanaian to promote the intra-trade commerce.
That was the Chief Executive Officer of the Tunisian Export Promotion Center, CEPEX, Mourad Ben Hassin. And finally, independent power producers have stated that government's posture of not paying them the arrears erodes investor confidence. This comes after the IPPs have declined government's proposal to restructure about $1.58 billion in arrears owed them by the state. Ghana aims to cut $10.5 billion in interest payments on its external debt in 3 years to be able to fully implement a $3 billion deal from the IMF. CEO of the Independent Power Producers, Eyewitness, has been speaking to City Business News.
The arrears in questions are largely obligations that we have accrued to our key stakeholders, suppliers, lenders, and others. So let me make it clear that the IPPs have defaulted for a fact in their loan repayment schedules and are incurring penalties for non-payment. So imagine someone proposing to restructure a debt that is already overdue and not even a proposal has been made on how do we help solve the situation. I find it difficult to understand from a private investor point of view. This is not investor friendly.
Eyewitness was the Chief Executive Officer of the Independent Power Producers, Distributors and Bulk Consumers. And that's all for City Business News on Eyewitness News. It was powered by your most comprehensive business website, citybusinessnews.com. My name is Nete Ajahu. Up next is Point Blank.
Let your voice be heard on Eyewitness News on Facebook at facebook.com/city97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/city973, and Instagram at instagram.com/city973 with the hashtag Eyewitness News.
You know your papa see that? And it's rickety car. Hey, papa! Papa! Oh, Bobo, so how be your engine now? It is half man, half amazing. Thanks to Quartz and you can feel better energy. Can't touch this. Actually, guys, so Sancho's engine just died like that. Yes, so somebody managed to convince him that there is a better engine oil than Quartz, and he switched. Sancho Panza. Now, which engine oil can be better than Quartz? No other, my guy. Quartz with its age-resistant technology, it keeps your engine younger for longer. Now you know. Have you guys seen the new bottle design? It's superb. Quartz 9000 from Total Energies there improves fuel efficiency. Why do you think Mr. Mane and Logoso have taken the Quartz Nation movement World Cup like that? Sorry. Chairman. Hey, Quartz. Keep your engine younger for longer.
City TV is live on DSTV, GoTV, and HD+. On DSTV, find us on channel 363. On GoTV, we're on channel 117, and on HD+, get us on channel 108. On a digital TV, run a new search, but take note that without an antenna, you cannot access City TV. City TV can be accessed on any free-to-air digital box like the GoTV and HD+ boxes. City TV, it's your world.
Let your voice be heard on Eyewitness News on Facebook at facebook.com/City97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/City973, and Instagram at instagram.com/City973 with the hashtag Eyewitness News.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
This is Point Blank on Eyewitness News. My name is Umaru Sandama. Tonight on Point Blank, is Big Brother Nigeria went to the polls, elected a president to replace former or retired soldier who came to power through military means in the early 80s, came back on the ballot representing the APC, being elected, serving for 2 terms, Muhammad Buhari. The man replacing him, a Yoruba Muslim man, Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Today, Bola Ahmed Tinubu was sworn in as president of Nigeria, taking over from Muhammad Buhari. We'll touch base with Nigeria and ask what this really means, because Bola is on the same party with the president who is outgoing or going out, or who has gone out. Mind you, this issue is already in court. The 2 candidates who were defeated, Atiku Abubakar and Peter Obi, are challenging the decision of the Independent Electoral Body, INEC. So before then, let's listen to the man who tenure as president ended today in Nigeria. People called him Baba Go Slow. People called him absentee president. Others said he was a fake Buhari. So many things have been said about him. Be it as it may, he has ended his tenure. And listen to his goodbye speech to Nigerians at a dinner.
My wife, presidents and heads of government here present, Your Excellency the Vice President and your spouse, President-elect and his spouse, Vice President-elect and his spouse, the President of the Senate, Speaker of the House of Representatives, Chief Justice of the Federation, state governors, members of the National Assembly, members of Federal Executive Council, members of Diplomatic Corps, service chiefs and Inspector General of Police, heads of security and intelligence agencies, captains of industry, religious leaders, traditional rulers, distinguished invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. I have spoken at length on record, and it has been broadcasted this evening and maybe first thing in the morning. I am here to thank you very much, especially the various heads of state in Africa that have come to share this time with us to congratulate Bola Ahmed Tinubu and his wife as the elected president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and his vice president and his wife, who was a two-time governor in his state and managed to come to Senate to rest. I said so because something spectacular happened in our political development. 10 serving governors failed to make it to the Senate. This is unprecedented in Nigerian politics. For a serving governor to fail to win election in his base. But we should look at it positively. It means Nigerians are very much aware of their powers once there is authority that can make sure that their votes count. How can a serving governor who served for 8 years in his state lose in his constituency to go to the Senate? This used to be unprecedented, but it has happened in Nigeria. We are very happy for this achievement. I congratulate you, the governors that are elected, and I congratulate fellow Nigerians who have realized their power, that their votes count. I'm looking forward to tomorrow to fly to my base and go back to my cows and sheep, which are much easier to control than fellow Nigerians. But I have to reduce their number because I cannot save enough to buy them feeds. Your Excellencies, heads of state and government, and their representatives that come to share this day with us, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I thank you very much. And I said goodbye to you, and I wish us the best of luck. Thank you very much.
President Muhammad Buhari, now former president of Nigeria, Muhammad Buhari, who is flying to his base, Katsina, to go and take care of his cows and sheep. So there's a new president. He's been sworn in today. And this is despite the fact that there's currently a court case on the election. Dele Momodu is a businessman. He's a media person, owns the Ovation magazine. He's been involved in Nigeria's politics at the highest level. He was spokesperson of the PDP in the just ended elections. He was hoping Atiku would win the election. He's joined us on the line from Nigeria. Mr. Momodu, you're welcome to CTFM.
Good evening, Ghana. How are you?
We are fine. Ghana misses you. When are you coming back to give us some big event or take part in some big event for us here? Since things have settled down there, you can come back to your first home.
I'm always in Ghana, so maybe you just didn't realize it. I'm always in Ghana.
Okay, nice. Today you have a new president, even though he's on the same party. Does it mean there's any change in Nigeria, or is the same old same? And I'm asking you this question minded by the fact that you belong to the party that is not the one in power.
Well, my position on the state of our country, Nigeria, is very simple and straightforward. As I've mentioned elsewhere earlier today, I'm a loyal member of the PDP, and I owe absolute allegiance to Nigeria and its rule of law. So my political party, PDP, Labour Party, and others have gone to court. So we will stand on that because we believe that the presidential election was highly manipulated by the ruling party APC. So the cases are in court, and nothing will make me to abandon that, my party personally. That's, the way I am. I'm a man of principle. I won't abandon my party on the altar of convenience or profit. Win or lose, we will continue to stand on that principle because democracy is a game of choice, and we're resolutely standing by our candidate, the former Vice President Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, who has taken the honorable and peaceful step of going to court to seek redress. So that is where we stand. Until the court case or cases are decided, that is where we will continue to stand.
Which means that you do not really recognize the election and you continue not to until the court makes a final determination.
No, we don't. Our party does not recognize that the election has been concluded.
What does your law say, though?
My party. I mentioned the Labour Party.
Yes, I get. When I said you, I meant you collective as those who have gone to the court. Now, we do know that your election was, 3 months ago? How does your judicial system work? Does it say that there should be a determination by the court before swearing in? Because I presume that's why you have such a lengthy time for the inauguration after the election.
Unfortunately, the judicial process in Nigeria and in many parts of Africa can be very cumbersome. And so it takes a lot of time, but we believe that the struggle continues. We are still within the limits of the judicial process, and we will pursue that to its logical conclusion.
Your decision to go to court and without prejudice to what your expectations are and your position on the election of Tinubu, he has been sworn in, and that swearing in ceremony was attended by lots of heads of states. You could say legally he has a legitimacy, even though you are challenging that. So, without prejudice to your case in court, let's talk about the new president and the party he represents. Muhammad Buhari leaves Lagos tomorrow, Abuja tomorrow, to his base to go and take care of cows and sheep, like he says. What would be your verdict on his tenure of office before we talk about what you would expect the new government to do, if you even recognize it at all in the future?
Former President Muhammadu Buhari has already departed Abuja. He's already in his hometown of Daura in Katsina State. He left immediately after in fact, he left during the ceremony with his wife, with his family. And I saw a footage of him arriving in Daura earlier today. The former Vice President, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, also departed Abuja for Lagos. So he's in Lagos. So they've left, and of course there will be a mixed reaction to their tenure, and we leave history and posterity to judge them.
The comment he made about Nigerians being difficult, was that in jest, or it's something that he takes seriously? Being difficult to govern Nigerians?
Oh, he's always held that view that Nigerians are difficult to govern, but I'm of the view that Nigerians are in fact not too difficult to govern, because we've never seen so much delivery from our leaders. So whenever a leader gives us a mere token, of achievement, we hail such a leader. We jump up, and I mean the level of infrastructure development that you see in some parts of Africa, like Ghana, you hardly see in Nigeria. So that's why you hear Nigerians say that, oh, if you borrow us some Ghanaian leaders for a few months, we'll be very delighted, So we're looking forward to that day when we would have serious leaders who would invest heavily in infrastructural revolution. And education, the quality of education, Medicare. I mean, during the COVID era, you saw how Ghana had excess bed capacity to take care of patients. They didn't have to go for emergency, field operations like we did in Nigeria. So we're hoping that the government in Nigeria, legitimate or not, will be able to cater to the needs of the people of Nigeria.
Okay, the issue of age was a big one in the just ended election. Buhari was accused of being absent-minded by critics. He has been a military ruler before in the early 80s before he returned to power through civilians or democratic means. Now you have paraded a number of candidates in the just ended election. Your own person that you were tipping, Atiku Abubakar, is not growing any younger. The man who was being sworn in today, not any younger. Even though Peter Obi would have been the youngest of them, you have returned power, and I mean Nigerians, to another old person. What do ordinary Nigerians think, and what's your own view on Tinubu's age vis-a-vis Muhammad Buhari's age just having left office today?
Well, age is always a factor. Yes, please.
I can hear,
go on,
yes, I can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay. Age is always a factor. But age cannot be the only determinant of who we should vote for. When you look at the electoral process, especially around the world, you will know that it takes time sometimes for people to arrive at their destination. The former president of Ghana, John Adjei Kufuor, contested 3 times before he became the president of Ghana. So you can imagine at the time he started contesting, he must have been much younger. Same thing with Professor Atamiyu. He contested 3 times before he made it. Same thing with Nana Akufo-Addo. He contested 3 times. And it's almost the same thing. In fact, his was longer with President Muhammadu Buhari, who contested 4 times. And he came back to power exactly 30 years after he left as military head of state. So I think it's the process that makes them old. It is not that, they started contesting in their old age. Atiku Abubakar started contesting, I'm sure, from 2007. So that would be a minimum of about 16 years ago. So he was a much younger person when he started contesting. No, as a matter of fact, he started contesting in 1993. He contested against Chief Moshood Abiola in 1993. So you can imagine how young he was at that time. So it's the process. If you don't give up on your ambition. When I first contested in 2011 to be president of Nigeria, I was 51 years old. Today I'm 63. So if I decide to contest again next time in another 4 years, I'll be 67. If I make it or if I don't make it, if you add another 4 years to it, then I'll be 70. I'll be 71. So it's the process that makes it very difficult for people to make it in their younger age. Peter Obi, was in my house 2 weeks ago. I told him, I said, you still have a chance because by the next election, it will just be about 64, 65. So it's not easy for you to make it at first attempt. We've seen such examples all over the world. Look at how old Joe Biden is today. To think that he served under a much younger president, Barack Obama. So age alone cannot determine whether a leader is going to be good or bad. But we've seen a lot of fantastic leaders who are old, who are conscientious, who are hardworking and forward-looking.
Thank you so much, Chief, for speaking to us.
Thank you. Have a nice day.
You too. That's Chief Dele Momodu, former presidential candidate for the People's Democratic Party in Nigeria, who is also a businessman and a media practitioner. Let's now go to a journalist, a data journalist that is, with a cable newspaper in Nigeria, Victor Ejechi. Victor, you're welcome to Eyewitness News on CTFM in Accra, Ghana.
Yeah, good evening. Thank you so much for having me.
What is the mood in Nigeria? You have a court action ongoing against an election, but you have a new president who has been elected. What is the general mood amongst Nigerians?
So generally, first of all, we've had a peaceful transition of power, and then we now have a president. This is the seventh transition we are experiencing in our democracy, and the 16th president. So while we know that there have been grievances, people have been having mixed feelings as regards this particular election, but of course, Nigerians have been hopeful that this particular administration will give us the dividends of democracy. Yes, we still have a lot of cases in court that start from the PDP and the Labour Party that's still trying to fight the mandate. But as today, the mood is just, it is a mixed feelings. A party rejoicing, the other party hoping that the president will be sent out from the office and all that. Of course, it is expected. It is expected, especially when the candidate is not popular among the people, right? But then the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria is still the ultimate, is still superior to any other opinion or feelings of anybody. So basically, that's the move right now in the country.
What are the expectations from the youth, especially from this new government, in your reading of the ground?
Yeah, the truth is, the last 8 years hasn't really been good as regards to the economy, the social life, the standard of living, the cost of living of the average Nigerians, right? And in that case, there's a lot of work the present president has to do. In fact, at the point, I was saying that he has a lot to do that, to the point that I don't think I want to envy him in this particular election, right? So in one ground, the youth are hoping that the inflation will be taken care of. The youth are hoping that there will be a large reduction of police brutality. The youth are hoping that their opinion will count. The youth are hoping that this administration will not just be as that of the President Muhammadu Buhari administration. But just like the matter of this particular administration is going on with renewed hope because I believe that for President Tinubu to give his campaign movement renewed hope, there is at a point the hope of the average Nigerians has been deterred and have been more of like destroyed in one way or the other. But then he came up with the mantra that he wants to renew the hope of Nigeria. And of course, today his body language when he was giving his inaugural speech, to some it gave a feeling that okay, he knows what he's doing. He gave a feeling of this president has a firm command of words and command. He knows what is expected of him. So averagely, the average Nigerian just wants to survive. They want to live. They want to matter in their country. They want to survive. They want to be able to say, "Oh, I'm Nigerian." I think that is not so much to ask from anybody.
It's a new president, the same political party, new government. What's your gut feeling? Things will change?
Yeah. So I've always been one person that wants to ask myself, can you differentiate a candidate from his political party? Can you differentiate them? Because if you cannot differentiate a party from a political party, it means that whatever happens in the last 8 years might probably repeat itself in the next 4 years or the next 8 years. But of course, the person in question is making a lot of persons have different feelings as regards to that particular conversation. Reason is because this person has been able to manage an economy of that happens manage the economy of Lagos. He has been the governor of Lagos and has always been someone that was meant that more like have a direction of how Lagos wants to be. So if you check his major campaign when he was campaigning for this particular election, his major strong point is that he changed Lagos. His major his bragging right is just that he was able to transform Lagos. The IGR with the revenue Lagos increase under his word. He has a master plan. And another thing is that he has to sports talent. He has a team to sports talent. In fact, he was being called the kingmaker, right? So with that being aside, people want to believe that his administration is going to spot key talents that will, in one way or the other, move the economy to the next level. They also want to feel like Tinubu will make whatever he did in Lagos is going to replicate the same in the federation, right? But the truth is that Nigeria is not Lagos. Lagos is not Nigeria. The state is different for the federation, you know. And I want to believe he understands that. I also want to be optimistic that he will be able to pick enough technocrats that will manage institutions, that will manage some portfolios that is required. For instance, one of the things he said today is that subsidy is gone. That was a bold statement to make. That was something that a lot of presidents have been running away from. Back in 2012, when Nigerians went on the streets to protest. But he came and told the subsidy is not sustainable. Everybody agreed it's not sustainable. And he was wanting to tell you that subsidy is gone. If you don't, after his announcement of subsidy is gone, there happens to be queue in the streets of Lagos right now and Abuja. You know, the first scarcity just began all of a sudden. Right? So tomorrow, a lot of Nigerians are going to suffer this, going to be going to work tomorrow, which means that no person will obviously feel like, oh, this president has entered and then we are feeling pain among other things. But he should be right to do. One big person that believes that subsidy should have even left long ago. Yeah. But then I want to believe that he's different from his party. I want to believe in the person based on his antecedents and all that.
Very well. Thank you for speaking to us, Victor.
Thank you so much.
That's Victor Ejechi. He's a journalist with a cable newspaper in Nigeria. That's how we end tonight's edition of Eyewitness News. My name is Umaru Sanda Amado. Production by Beverly London and Kobna Wilson. Technical support from Daniel Squashi and new media support from Edwin Kwakofi. We'll return tomorrow at 17:30 GMT. Thank you for listening. Have a good night.